The government is considering offering incentives to unemployed council tenants to encourage them to relocate to where there are more jobs. The Work and Pensions Secretary, Iain Duncan Smith, says millions of people are trapped on estates in areas of high unemployment with little opportunity. Labour says the plan is unworkable and unfair. Mike Sargent reports.
The trap of deprivation and dependency, a familiar description of parts of Britain where there's lots of social housing but jobs are hard to find. The government thinks some people need an incentive to move out.
It's not threatening people, far from it. Most people I meet on these housing estates, they desperately want work and they are trapped, and it's trying to help them find a way out.
So the plan is to offer them housing in other areas. Blurton-in-Stoke-on-Trent's an estate with higher than average unemployment. Local factories have long since closed. Over the years, many thousands of jobs have been lost. But do residents here want to make a fresh start somewhere else?
I suppose it would be a good idea to relocate younger people, but like I say, with people with families and, you know, it's uprooting people, isn't it?
I think that's a bit stupid, really, because why should you be forced to move somewhere where you don't want to live? They should just make more jobs available where you're living.
So there may not be such a rush, for instance, to move here, an estate in Roehampton, West London, in an area where lots of jobs have been generated in recent years. But encouraging people to swap their homes in really deprived areas for ones in places like this is a controversial idea. It could create a lot more competition for jobs here. And what about the communities people leave behind? For some, it's all too similar to a certain Norman Tebbit speech in 1981.
I grew up in the 30s with an unemployed father. He didn't riot. He got on his bike and looked for work, and he kept looking till he found it.
When that speech was delivered, 32% of homes were rented from the council. These days, after the sell-off promoted by Margaret Thatcher, social housing accounts for 18% of all homes. In a very large number of those, people aren't working. But Labour says this plan isn't the answer.
It is the get on your bike philosophy. And what he's saying to whole parts of the country is we have no hope as a government of getting work into your area, so you're going to have to move out of your community. And that is frankly disgraceful.
Getting more people into work is vital if the huge welfare bill is to be cut. But the reaction to Iain Duncan Smith's plan shows how difficult that may be.